Don't be a hunchback anymore. Allow your chest to be open. And if that seems pretty difficult for you, I got a chest opening sequence that should do the trick. You're gonna grab onto a resistance band, loop it up high, higher than your head is. It could drop a little, that's fine. And then you're gonna bring your palms in through the resistance band. From there, you're gonna step forward, and you're gonna think of it as kind of like those snow angels that you used to do as a kid, except for you're just gonna do them with the band. So you're bending your elbows, bringing it down, maybe even kind of dipping it through there, getting a little bit more stretch in through the pecs and through the anterior delt. Do that about 3-4 times with your elbows bent. And then after that, you can try to do it with your elbows locked out. I step forward a little. I think about puffing my chest up. I like to say chest bumping the sky. So chest bump the sky for me. And then from there, breathe. Take inhales. Puff your chest up and maybe kind of pivot over to one side. You'll get a little bit more stretching through the bicep that way. And then from there, you'll try to keep your arms straight as you go all the way up and overhead and then all the way to the side. Now my left side needs a little bit more love, so I'm gonna kind of pivot in through there, kind of lean away, get a little bit more stretch in through that delt, in through the bicep, and then come back in through to center, and then try it a few more times. I'm right in through here, I'm right up, and what you might find is that you need a band actually a little bit less resistance than this, so I would say half the size of this. If you go and you feel like stuck, like you can't fully extend your elbows, then you know that the resistance band is too heavy, you'll grab onto a lighter one, and then you will graduate to the heavy-duty resistance band like me. Have fun. Next, we have the femur floss. You're gonna grab onto a resistance band, you're gonna loop it right in through your hip, and then from there you'll grab onto another band. I'll bring my knee into my chest so that way I can play around. Is it in the right position? Shift, shimmy it as much as you need to. And then kind of step away so you have adequate resistance on the band. And then you can either grab onto the back of the knee and then kind of roll it in through there, or you can grab onto another band, loop it around in through your foot, and then from there work on the hamstrings. So as the femur is moving back into the hip crease, it's freeing up more space in through the front of your hip, and the other band is now allowing you to stretch in through your hamstrings. I can flex and point and go round and round, focusing a little bit on ankle range of motion. And then from there, as you're hanging out here for about 90 seconds, 2 minutes, then you can bring it into a half happy baby. I bring my knee over to the side. I can grab onto the side of the foot if you can, and if you can't, that's what the band's there for, to make your life a little bit easier. And then explore in through here. Your hips open. Again, your femur, so your leg bone, is moving back into your hip, so it should free up more space in through your hips. From there, you'll end with a supine twist. I reach it up, I fully extend my right leg, and then I cross this leg over your body. As you cross it over, again, it's going to be taking the femur, pulling it back. You'll feel a pretty interesting stretch right in through your piriformis. As you flex that left foot, it's going to fire up your sciatic nerve. That'll track all the way from the base of your lower back, all the way down your leg and out your knee. And then hang out. You'll spend about 4 minutes on each side. Have fun with it. This one is not for the faint of heart. This is probably the deepest hip extension stretch that I could possibly come up with. So ease into it. You're going to grab yourself band in through, the band should be attached right up to where your hips are. From there I loop it right underneath my butt. And then I'm going to step back so that way my knee can become flush with the wall. It doesn't need to be flush, it could be a little bit over, but the more flush you are, the more stretch is going to happen in through your quads. From there, I'm going to bring myself into the bottom of a lunge, and then I'm going to try to relax. I'm going to take inhales that fill my belly up, and then exhales that press my hip forward and maybe lean back. If you want, you can reach your hand up and over, getting a little bit more in through there. About 2.5 minutes on this little contraption. Should be gnarly. Have fun with it. It's going to be working on opening up in through your hips, especially for squats. It's an awesome thing to do to kind of open up in through your groin, prep your hips for internal and external rotation. The first thing you do is grab onto a band, and it should be directly in through your groin. So off to the side, right up next to your thigh. From there, just get down into a lateral lunge. That alone is going to start to open up in through the groin. And then from there, you'll come down and you'll bring the knee down. As the knee comes down, I try to internally rotate it and I bring it in and out of hip flexion. So I take my hip back, I bring my hip forward, and I really am just trying to create more space for my femur, that's my leg bone. I want my femur to kind of free up in through the hip socket as much as I can. From there, you're gonna work on external rotation. All you do is bring yourself forward and back, right in through here. I'm almost kind of like in a yogi wing dragon pose. I want it to be in through my thigh, and then from there I feel this corkscrew of the leg out. If I had a little super buddy, I might ask them to kind of push a little bit more on the resistance band, push it down, rocking side to side, and really allowing the external rotators of the hip and that glute med and glute max to stretch out. I'm right in through here, enjoying myself. Should take you about 2.5 minutes to get through the whole sequence. Have fun. Each leg, that is.